Hello, children. Today we will move further in the active passive voice. So, it's basically the third part and the final part of this active passive voice series. Earlier in the first part and in the second part, we have seen how to convert active, affirmative, negative, or interrogative sentences into passive voice. Now, today we'll see the WH questions. As you know that there are two types of interrogative sentences are there. First, that is yes no questions and WH questions. So earlier in the second part we have seen how to convert those yes no questions into passive voice. Today we will deal with these WH questions. Now in the WH questions, sentence structure is given here, uh, active voice and passive voice. Look at this. Let's understand it with the example, that is, why did she punish you? Why did she punish you? So generally in active voice sentence we have this WH word in the beginning. Second thing which comes, that is supporting verb or the auxiliary verb. Here did is used. Is it supporting verb or auxiliary verb? It is supporting verb, right? It's not the auxiliary verb. Okay, so first WH word, then supporting or the auxiliary verb, then comes our subject, then our main verb and object at the last. So this is the structure of the active voice, WH questions in active voice. Now let's see the passive voice structure. So first we are not going to cut off this WH word, right? So we have to write the same thing. Okay, so same WH word we'll have to write. Second thing is that we will write auxiliary verb or to be verb. Okay, if the sentence doesn't has any auxiliary verb, then we'll have to put to be verb, and in which cases it happens only in the two cases, if the sentence is in simple present or in simple past. Otherwise every tense has their own auxiliary verb. Okay, so we'll have to put it there here at the second place. Third thing, that is object. Now after these two things, these only one thing is added here. We'll have to put WH word in the beginning. Otherwise the sentence structure is just like the interrogative sentences only. No other formation you will find here. Okay, the same sentence structure is there, but only we'll put WH word in the beginning. Otherwise everything is the same, just like the interrogative sentences. Okay, after object our main verb will convert into third form, that is past participle form V3. Then we'll put by our subject in the objective case and the question mark. Now there is a note, you have to note this thing, that if the sentence has auxiliary verb, then write to be form after object. If the sentence has auxiliary verb, then we'll have to write to be, this to be form after the object. If they don't have the two auxiliary verb, then we will write to be form here and we'll not have to write anything after object. Okay, the same things was there in the interrogative sentences even. Hope you remember. Okay, let's see the example how these things work. Here we have the example where auxiliary verb is there. In this first example there is only supporting verb. Look at this, did is a supporting verb. So here we want to use supporting verb in the passive, will go with the to be form. So verb is here to be form, right? So no auxiliary verbs are used in this sentence, right? So we haven't written anything here, but in this sentence we have the auxiliary verb, that is will. I have underlined it. When will you return the book? Right? So when, then our auxiliary verb will then our object here, right? Object, which is it? The book. Now we'll write to be form here, right? So to be, that is a simple future tense to be form is be. So we will put to be form be here. Then our main verb will convert into third form V3. Then by here, and our subject, who is our subject? You. So you and question mark. Okay, so when will the book be written by you? The same thing, same rules are written here, which are there in the interrogative sentences. First, that is, do not write do, does, did in the passive constructions because they are the supporting verb. We don't require it. And second thing is that if auxiliary verbs are there in the sentence, write them in the beginning to frame the interrogative. Now, in the beginning we'll have to write, but before the beginning we will put WH word because it is the different interrogative sentence. That's it, just only that difference is there, otherwise all the things are same. Let's understand it with some of the example. Why have you bought this ticket? Why have you bought this ticket? So first, what will we put? We will put this WH word only. So why? Then auxiliary verbs are given. Yes, have is there. So why have? Now our object. What is our object? This ticket. Why have this ticket? Now, sorry. Now look at this. This ticket. So it is the third person singular. So has, have won't go with it. So what will we have to write? Has. Why has this ticket? To be form of this tense, which tense is used? Look at this, have plus V3 is there. That means it is a present perfect tense. Now any to be form of any perfect tense, that is been, right? So we'll put been, then our main verb into V3 form. Why has this ticket been bought by you? Question mark. Let's see the answer. Why has this ticket been bought by you? Next questions. What did she buy? What did she buy? So again we'll put the same WH word first. Okay. What? Then look at this sentence. There isn't any auxiliary verb. Only supporting verb is that is did. So we'll have to go with to be form. So it is the past form, past tense. So to be form of the past tense, that is was or were. Now what is our object here? Now there is no object, right? Why there is no object? Because the question is with the what. So wherever we are asking what, there would be no object. Sometimes it may happen that the sentence has the second object, that is indirect object. So in that we have to look for it. We'll see how to deal with the indirect object if there are any other second objects are there. So object is not given, so we will skip this object. Okay, so why we'll have to skip this object. So what was, we can use what if object is not given, you can use any to be form, but on the safer side use was, because we are talking about some person, right? So what was, now V3 form will come. Okay, bought. What was bought by, who is our subject? She. So objective case of she is her. What was bought by her? Let's see the answer. Yes, what was bought by her? Question mark. What do you want? Okay, so again we will put what. Now as we have written was here, that means we have considered the object as the third person singular, so we'll go with the third person singular only. So what is, now our main verb will convert into third formation because there is no subject, so we are not object, sorry, so we don't have to write. So what is wanted by you? Let's see the answer. Yes, what is wanted by you? Why did she beat the servant? Now again we'll write this WH word as it is. Why? Now the servant, it is this simple past tense, so we don't go with this supporting, we'll go with the to be form. So why the servant, so singular third person, why was the servant, V3 form, beaten by, the subject in objective form, she will become her, question mark. Why was the servant beaten by her? Why was the servant beaten by her? Okay, now we'll see the question which begins with the who. Now it is again very same thing is that only we'll have to add, we'll have to remove who. In place of who we will write by whom. Other things, other rules are same. Now who is there, that means there is no subject, so we don't have to write by dot 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 subject, right? So we don't have to write because subject is missing. We are asking about the subject, right? We are asking about the doer of an action, so that means there is no subject, so we don't have to write by dot dot dot. So in place of by dot dot dot, what will we write? By whom, and we will cut this who. So that is the extra elements which we have to focus here. Okay, let's see with the example. Who wrote this letter? Again, as I told you, we'll cut this who. In place of it, what will we write? By whom. Okay, now after WH word, to be form or auxiliary. Now look at this, it is the past, simple past tense, so we'll go with the to be form. By whom. Now again, was this later, our object, by whom was this later written, question mark, right? By whom this letter was written. So we are asking about the doer of an actions in a passive formation. Who will call him? By whom? By whom? Now we have the auxiliary here, so we'll put auxiliary will. By whom will he? Now we have to put to be form. Here it is simple past, simple future tense. So simple future tense to be form is be. So by whom will he be? V3 form, called, question mark. By whom will he be called? Who painted this beautiful painting? By whom this? Okay, now V3, it is simple past. So by whom was or was. So here it goes with, here what goes with it? Was. So by whom was this beautiful painting painted? By whom was this beautiful painting painted? Who invited you? By whom? By whom are you invited? or were you by whom were you invited? It is a simple past. By whom were you invited? I have made a mistake. I don't think are will come here. Were will come here because it is a simple past. So by whom were you invited? Why were? Because look at this, you is there, so what goes with you were, right? So by whom were you invited? Who can break Sachin's record? By whom? Now can is there, so we'll go write that only. So by whom can Sachin's record to be formed is here, it is B. So by whom can Sachin record be broken? By whom can Sachin's record be broken? Now we'll see the questions begins with whom. Now wherever you find this whom, now whom we generally ask to get the indirect object. Now what is indirect object, we'll see in the detail later on. Now every many sentence has two object, direct one and indirect one. So wherever we are asking whom, so we are asking indirect objects. So what we have to do here, that remember in who we have to cut this who, and in place of who what we write by whom. So here whom is given, so we'll have to cut this whom. In place of whom what will we write? Who. Other things will remain same, so all the rules apply with whom also, but we'll have to change whom with who. So that is the new rule. Other than all the rules are same, just like the interrogative sentences or WH questions. Let's see whom has the principal honored. Whom has the principal honored? So in place of whom what will we write? Who. So who. Now auxiliary is given. Who has. Now we are asking about the object. So object is missing here, right? So who has, we don't have to write object is not here, see. So what we have to write? To be formed, that is been. Then what is remaining? Who has been honored, v3 form here, that is our honored. Honored, who has been honored by, who is our subject here? The principal. Okay, let's see. Who has been honored by the principal? Whom has the police arrested? So again we'll cut this whom. In place of it what will we write? Who. Now object is not here, so who has been, because it is the to be form. Who has been arrested by the police. Who has been arrested by the police. Next, whom have the police elected? Who has been elected by the people? Now look at this, the people. Now they are not necessary, you can even cut it. Okay, we'll see where this wherever you won't find any agent, that means a particular proper noun, then you can skip this subject. We'll see in detail later on in this video, of course. So who has been elected by the people? You can also write it, you can also skip this. Who has been elected? Okay. Whom have the selectors selected? So who has been selected by the selectors. Let's see the answer. Who has been selected by the selectors. One thing that you have to keep it in your mind, that wherever you write this whom or who, okay, where you don't find any object or what, so go with the third person singular. Where if you are writing model auxiliary, then you go with the third person singular model auxiliary, or if you are writing this to be form, then also you just only if there is no auxiliary, if there is no auxiliary, then you can write to be form according to this third person singular subject. And if there is auxiliary, so you just put it as the third person singular auxiliary. Okay. But here we have the subject, so we'll have to put according to that. Okay. Whom was she called? Whom has she called? Sorry. Who has been called by her? Right. Okay. Now, many sentences has two objects, that is direct object and indirect object. I hope you learn this. We'll quickly go with it. Now there are two types of object, that is direct and indirect object. First thing that comes in our mind, that is what is object. Now object is the receiver. Object is the receiver of the action. Now in any sentence, action is more important. Okay, if there is action, you can frame the word, frame the sentence. Without action, you can't frame a sentence. So action, that means the verb is most essential or most fundamental, most basic part of a sentence. Okay, for example, shut up. So I'm saying someone to shut up, right? Go, sit down. Okay, so these are also these few words, or these verbs or phrasal verbs, they are also a part of sentence. They can be, we can use them as a sentence. We don't require subject or object. So action is the most important thing. So if someone does an action, that means he is the subject. He she or he she each or they are the subject. If someone receives the actions, okay, then it is the object. Now there are two object, direct object and indirect object. If the object receives the action directly, that means they are the direct. If they receive indirectly, that means they are indirect object. Now there are two ways to find out direct objects or indirect objects. If you are searching for the direct object, by what? By asking the question with what, you will get the direct object. And by asking with the question with this to whom or for whom, you will get the indirect object. How? Let's see it with the example. She taught me English. She taught me English. Now look at this sentence. Here we have a subject, here we have the verb. Now I have already mentioned here indirect object and direct object, but with this help of these words, we'll get the direct object or indirect object. Let's see. She taught me English. She taught what? English. So it is our direct object. So wherever we get the direct, we get the answer with the word, that is our direct object. And the remaining two stuffs are there, to whom or for whom. She taught English to whom? To me. So we are so here me is the indirect object. Now how it receives indirect, how these objects are the direct receivers or the indirect receivers? Look at this. She taught. Okay, action is here taught, teach, right? So now look at this. Teach, um, sorry. So here English is uh, uh, receiving directly these actions, and me is receiving this action but indirectly, right? So that is the reason it is direct object or indirect object. Now let's see how. Now there are two ways to convert these uh, active sentences into passive sentences, because we have two objects, right? So as we have two objects, there are two ways to convert active voice into passive voice. Both are the right. You can write any of it as per your convenience, whatever you find best, and you think that I am good at this style, then you can go, then you just go with it. Okay, here I am giving you both the style. Okay, now listen. If we have to put this direct object as our subject, then our answer could be like this: English was taught. Now here we have to write to whom or for whom. So this is what the our question. So English was taught to me. Here we have to add to. If we are going to put direct object as our subject, then you have to write to before this indirect object. Okay, so that is the condition. If you want to use this direct object as your subject, so you have to add to before this indirect object. Okay, so English was taught to me by her. Now if you wanted to put this indirect object as your subject, then me will become I. So I was taught English by her. Okay, so it is bit easier for you. You don't have to memorize that you have to put two. Both are the right. Okay, no one can blame that it is wrong or it is right, but you just have to keep it in your mind that if you are putting direct object as your subject, then you have to write to before this indirect object. So that is the only condition. Otherwise you can go sorry. Use any, you can use any of this pattern. He gave me a pen. Okay, let's start with the direct object. A pen was given to me by him. Let's see. A pen was given to me by him. Now if we wanted to put be as the subject, then I, me will become I was given a pen by him, right? I was given a pen by him. Okay, let's see some more example. Ram is offering a cup of tea to his guest. Now look at this. Ram is offering a cup of tea to his guest. A cup of tea to his guest. Okay, now what is direct object here? Yes, here we have it. A cup of tea to his guest. These are the indirect object. Now one thing that in the most of the sentence, direct objects are a thing or any kind of abstract things, right? Indirect objects generally they have the people, the person, right? So look at this, guest, these are the person, people, right? So they are the indirect object. You can also identify with this help. Okay, anyways, let's put the first direct object as our subject. So a cup of tea, now is offering is there, that means it is present continuous. So a cup of tea is being offered to his guest by Ram. A cup of tea is being offered to his guest by Ram. Right. Sorry, I have already. Okay. Next. Now we'll put this to his guest as our subject. So his guests are, they are plural, right? So his guests are being offered a cup of tea by Ram. Another example, Rama lent me 10 rupees. Me is the indirect, 10 rupees the direct object, right? So let's start with the direct object. 10 rupees now lent me is that means it's simple past, so was were. 10 rupees were lent to me. We have to put to before this indirect object. So 10 rupees were lent to me by Rama. Let's see the, okay, 10 rupees were lent to me by Rama. Now let's put this, me as indirect object as our subject. So I was, right? This auxiliary verb will change according to the new subjects in person and in number. So I was, me, person, right? I was lent 10 rupees by Rama. Okay, you can see your answer. I was lent 10 rupees by Rama. The king gave the commander a reward. Indirect, direct. A reward was given. We have to put to the commander. A reward was given to the commander by the king. Let's see. Yes. And another, the commander was given a reward by the king. A commander was given a reward by the king. Now sentence with the infinitive, that is to, right? So she is to cook food. Look at this. She is to cook food, right? Verb is there and to cook. Okay, these are not, I hope we have discussed in detail about these infinitives in transformation of sentences. Okay, so we won't discuss in detail. So wherever you will find this infinitive, then how to transform these sentences into passive, it is given here. Now look at this. Food is there. Now one rule is there, wherever you find this infinitive, you just put be as a to be form. Okay, be as a to be form wherever you find these infinitive sentences. So main verb will, this main verb, what is here, it is cook. Okay, after this to infinitive, whatever verb is there, we'll have to put in into third form, right? So we'll convert this verb in the third formation, and we will put be as our to be form, right? So the same other rules are same applied here, right? So let's say food is here, right? So we'll have to use is MR only. So food is to be form. The food is to be, we don't have to cut this to, right? We have to use it. So food is to be cooked by her. Food is to be cooked by her. I am to buy a book. A book, what goes with it is, a book is to be bought by me. A book is to be bought by me. They have to read Sanskrit. Sanskrit, now have to is there, right? So Sanskrit, what goes with have or has with Sanskrit? Has. So Sanskrit has to be read by them. Spelling will remain same. Read, right? He had to play hockey. Hockey had to be played by him, right? Okay, now ought to constructions. Ought to is the model auxiliary verb, right? It has a different construction, so that is the reason I have put it here. And actually I wanted to put it after this model auxiliary, but the thing is that it has the same sentence structures like this imperative, infinitive structure. So that is the reason that I have put it just after this infinitives. Okay, let's understand it with the example. They ought to respect their parents. So they, now one thing that we have to focus here, we don't have to think about other auxiliary verbs or to be verbs, right? To be, that is only one thing would be there, be. The same thing was there in the infinitives, right? So we have used be as the our to be form. Here we have to use the same thing, and we will put this verb into third formation, that is V3. Okay, and here we'll write the same model auxiliary, that is here ought. Okay, now let's find out our object first. They ought to respect their parents. So their parents ought to be respected by them. Their parents, will write this ought to be our in to be form. Respected V3 form by them. Their parents ought to be respected by them. You ought not to insult others. Now it is the negative. Okay, so same things will be there. So others ought not to be insulted by you. Others ought not to be insulted by you. I have written the same thing, ought not to. Then I have put this be as our to be form. Now this is the interrogative. Ought we follow the rules? So we'll have to write the same ought. Now our object, what is our object? The rules. Ought the rules now to be followed by us? Question mark. Ought the rules to be followed by us? Yes, look at this. Ought the rules to be followed by us? Okay, now we'll see the prepositional verb. Now prepositional verb, that means the verb which has the preposition at, in, up, down. So these are the preposition, and if any verb has this joined preposition, they are called prepositional verb, right? So if there are any prepositional verbs, okay, so write this preposition wherever. If they are in the beginning of the verb, then write in the beginning. If they are at the end of the verb, then write at the end of the verb. Generally they are at the end of the verb. Okay, stand up, sit down. Okay, so these are the prepositional verb. Stand up, sit down, at, objected to, laughed at. Okay, so these are the prepositional verb. So now we have, whenever you are changing this verb in the because it is the passive, we have to convert the verb into V3 formation. So we will convert the verb into V3, but we will attach the same preposition which was attached in the active voice just after this V3 formation of the verb, right? That's the only thing. All the things are the same. They laughed at her. Now look at this. They laughed at. Okay, so laughed at is the preposition here, and along with this laugh, it makes they laughed at, it becomes the prepositional verb here. So we'll have to convert this laugh. It is already in the V3 form. V2, V3 are the same, so we don't have to convert it. Anyways, let's see. So here what is our object? Her is the object. So she, now it is the past tense. So she was laughed at by them. She was laughed at by them. As it's so simple. She was laughed at by them. Just we have to attach it with the preposition, with the verb only. Anyways, let's see next. She objected to my proposal. My proposal was objected to by her. Let's see the answer. My proposal was objected to by her. The children laughed at the beggar. Again, the beggar was laughed at by the children. Let's see. Okay. The beggar was laughed at by the children. Okay, now imperative sentences. Now if you remember imperative sentences, I think we learn enough about it, that which are the imperative sentences. Quickly revising, imperative sentences are command, they are order, they are suggestion, they are request. So these are called imperative sentences. They command something, they tell us to do something, that you do this, you do that. So generally subject is omitted in all the imperative sentences. Second thing is that it is considered you, because wherever there is a you will heard this sentence, imperative sentence. For example, I say that stand up. So I'm just telling you guys that you stand up. So I'm not using you, because you know that I'm telling you only, right? So that is what imperative sentences, they suggest, they command, they request, they order. Okay, so now there are totally 4 types of conversion. You can go with any of it, whatever you find best. And yes, that is what the thing. And look at this active sentence structure. It has only these 2 things, verb and the object. Open the gate, cut the lemon into 2 pieces, right? So these are the imperative sentences. So it has the verb, it has the object, or other words are there. If there are any, they are just after the objects. So first verb will come and then our object. But in passive structure there are these 1, 2, 3 and 4 types. 4 structures are there. You can use any of it, but wherever you find a let, then you can go with this. Both are the same. If subjects are given, then you have to add just by plus subject. If it is not necessary, then you can go with the first one. Okay, let's see one by one. Now this is our question, that is open the gate. Now we have to transform this active voice into passive voice. Okay, so first thing that is let the shop. Okay, in place of gate I have written shop. Okay, let it consider as a shop. In place of gate, let it consider as a shop. Okay, so open the shop. This is our question. Now there are 4 types, as I said earlier. Let the shop be open. You can put let at the beginning, then our object, be and V3 form. Let the shop be open. Open the shop, let the shop be opened. Open the gate, let the gate be open. Right? So this is our first type. Next, second one is that the shop should be opened. The shop should be open. So here what we have did here, it is like the basic whatever we are doing from the beginning into active passive, the same thing is there. we just have to find our object is that is our, the shop is object, so we just have to put the shop in the beginning, the shop. Now we have used the same thing, now we have to use should be. Okay, now it is compulsory, so the shop should be, V3 form will come here, open, the gate should be open, the shop should be open, the gate should be open, like this. The third, you are ordered to open the shop, someone is ordering. Okay, so that's the reason that I have written order. In place of order, you can also go with the requested. If you find the request in the sentence, then you can use requested. If you find advised in the sentence, you can use advised. Okay, suggested, like this kind of words. Okay, so you are ordered to open the shop. So you are ordered or you are requested to open the shop, you are advised to, okay, no one will advise to open the shop. Okay, so if someone will give, then okay. So after this order you have to write 2, and after this 2 you have to write V1 only. Okay, it is the infinitive, so that's the reason we have to write V1. Otherwise V3 is used in almost all the structure, but only with this you, wherever you use you as a subject, then you have to use V1, because we are saying that you are requested, you are ordered. Okay, last but not the least, and it is the expansion of this first structure. Same thing is that let the shop be opened now by the someone, now someone subject. Now here you is the subject, let the shop be opened by you. Now generally we don't write you, but in the sentence it might happen that there is another subject, so particular subject is given. So in that condition, let this shop be opened by him. Okay, in particular sentence, if you will find any other subject, so you have to write other subject here, right? We'll see this in the example. Okay, call the peon. Okay, call the peon. Now we'll convert into this that 4 or 3 sentence structure. First one was that use of let. Okay, call the peon, let, then our object, let the peon, will have to put be, let the peon be called, call the peon, let the peon be called, right? Let's see, let the peon be called. If we are talking about the fourth structure, then subject by you. Now it is generally not anyone can go there, so if particular subject is given, then we can write by the subject. If it is not given, then don't write those stuff. Okay, next, that is we'll have to put this object in the subject, in the place of the subjects. So the peon, then after that should be, right? So the peon should be called, the peon should be called. It's so easy, right? Now that V1 structure, so you we have to put subject, right? You are ordered or requested, I think order, right? You are ordered to call the peon. You are ordered to call the peon, right? Ordered to call the peon. You have to practice it, so you will get it. Write your name. Let your name be written. Let your name be written. Okay, now another one. We'll go with this, your name. Your name should be written. Your name should be written. Now let's use this third, order or requested. So you are requested, no one can order you, right? So you are requested, anyone, teacher can order you. You are requested to write your name. Okay, another one. Don't break the door. Let the door. Now negative is there, so we'll have to put not. Let the door not. Let the door not be broken. Okay. Let the door not be broken. Before to be form, we'll just put not. Okay. Next, second style. We'll put this the door as our subject. So the door then should be. The door should. Now it is negative, so should not be. The door should not be broken. The door should not be broken. Next, with the help of this you. So you are ordered or requested not to break the door. You are ordered or requested not to break the door. Another example is given on the right side, that is let structure. So in this we will use that fourth one style. So where we have this, look at this, let him learn his lesson. So here we have this another subject apart from you. What is it? Him. Okay. So wherever you find this let kind of sentence structure in your paper that is even of active, then you can go with the fourth structure. Let's see it. Let him learn his lesson. Let his lesson be learnt by him. Let his lesson be learnt by him. Let me cook the food. Again, let, then our object, the cook, then let the our object, what is our object? The food, So let the food, then we'll put to be, that is be. Let the food be cooked by, may will become be. Of course, we are putting it as a object. So let the food be cooked by me. Same thing goes with here. See, him, he. Okay. Now active passive voice without agent. Now what is agent? In English, you will find there are certain subjects where you don't find particularly agent, that means a proper subject. For example, if I say that somebody please help me, so now I'm not talking in a particular that you help me, or Ram you help me, or Sham you help me. Okay, I'm talking generally, in general. So in that we don't have any agent. Okay, so these are called sentence without agent. So we are talking about the passive voice who doesn't has the agent, or who doesn't require any agent. Okay, so that is what this topic is all about, passive voice without agent. Now look at this. Someone has stolen my pencil. Now someone is there, not a particular proper name is not given, right? So someone has stolen my pencil. So it is, this sentence is without agent. I haven't pointed out the particular name, right? So this is what called agent. Here we don't have any kind of agent here. It's just a subject, not an agent. So someone has stolen my pencil. Now what we have to write? If there is, you will find that agent is not there, or the subject is not necessary, right? Someone, that means someone, it could be anyone. So if you find this kind of sentences, you can skip this. Okay, you don't have to write by then someone. Okay, other things are just applied, the other rules are applied here, the same rules are applied here, and we have to go, it is the affirmative sentence, right? So the same things is here, nothing new, only just we have to cut this subject. Okay, let's see it. Someone has stolen my pencil. My pencil is the object, so we'll write my pencil. Has is there, auxiliary has been, we have to put to be form been Stolen. My pencil has been stolen by someone. Now, if I say by someone, it doesn't make any sense. So we don't require this by someone. So that is what it is all about. So we can cut it. My pencil has been stolen. We don't need to write this someone. Okay. They don't like strangers in the town. Strangers don't like is there, so are not, right? Strangers are not liked in the town. We don't need to write they. Strangers are not liked in the town. Of course, the people who are living in the town, they don't like it. So here they refers the people who are living in the town. So they are not necessary. Anyone could get it. So we don't require it. Strangers are not liked in the town. They always ask some hard questions in the science examination. Now here they refers to the people who are examining these examinations. So here we also don't need this, right? They is given, not particular person. And if it is not necessary to write down in the passive structures. So that is what passive voice without agent. Let's find out the object first. Okay. Some hard questions. This is what our object. So, and the simple present tense is there. So some hard questions are always asked in the examination. Some hard questions are always asked in the science examination, right? Next, no one can buy it. We don't require no one. So it can is there, it can, negative is there, so we have to put negative formation. So it cannot be bought. Can is there, so to be form be. It cannot be bought, right? People always respect teachers. We don't need this paper. So teachers, simple present, are. Teachers are always respected. One must do one's duty. We don't require this one. So what is our object? Duty. So answer could be duty must be done. We don't need these ones also. Duty must be done. That's enough, right? So this is what passive without agent. Okay, now quasi passive or miscellaneous kind of active passive. Now in this I would suggest, I have taken the examples which are generally they are useful to make other any kind of to deal with any quasi passive sentence structures, but I would suggest to use your brain. Okay, that is the only thing. I'm sorry, here we don't have any particular kind of pattern. If there is, then you will get confused, because from sentence to sentence it will differ. So we'll just see as it is, and I think if you did these examples, if you practice these examples enough, then it would be easier for you to transform any quasi passive, any quasi active voice into passive voice, this kind of things, right? Let's see. People say that he is a rich man. People say that he is a rich man. Now again listen, people is there, we don't need it. Now people say that he is the rich man. If I cut these people, then what will we write? It is said that he is a rich man. It is like, it is somewhat like direct indirect. It is said that he is a rich man. I have cut this people, instead of it I have written it. Now simple present is there, so is here. V3 form I have to write. So it is said that, the same structure, same sentence I have written. Let's see. It is time to ring the bell. Now again it is given here, so we will go with this. It is time. Now let's see. To ring the bell. Now the bell is given. It is the object, right? So it is time. The bell. It is time. The bell. It is time for the bell, right? It is more suitable. So it is time for the bell to be. Ring will become rung. It is time for the bell to be rung, right? Next one. Your behavior surprises me. Now I am surprised. I am surprised at your behavior or with your behavior. Okay, I am surprised with your behavior, or I am surprised at your behavior. At is more appropriate because we are talking directly, right? Okay, next. This mango tastes sweet. Now this mango is sweet when tasted. This mango is sweet when tasted. The shop is building. Okay, present continuous. The shop is being built. I have just put to be form here and V3 form. That's it. Your shirt needs washing. Your shirt needs to be washed. Same thing, right? So that is what the quasi passive. Now here how we can convert passive into active voice, because in exam generally it could be passive sentence, it could be active passive. So what to do if passive sentence is there and if we have to convert active voice. Now I think we know all the rules to convert active into passive. So basically we have to remove all the rules which we have applied there to convert active into passive. Okay, those things we have to reverse all the rules. We have to cut all the rules which we have applied in the passive. That is the thing. Other than that, these four these four tips are there, so which will help you to from passive into active voice. First thing that we have to do is that find out the to be form. Okay, and we have to remove it. Most important step, we have to find out to be form and we have to remove it. That is our first thing. Second thing we can do that is put the verb form according to the to be form. So to be form we have put according to the tense. So we have to put verb form. So our main verb will into V3 because we are dealing with the passive. So main verb will be in V3. So we have to put this verb, the tense. We have to remove this V3 form and we have to put verb form according to the tenses. And how we can find which tense is used? So basically we have used to be form. So we have definitely we have to remove this to be form, but we will put the tense according the tense of this to be form here. So we have to apply this tense in the verb. So put the verb according to the to be forms. Okay, that is what the second rule. The third rule, that is use SVO pattern. Okay, SVO pattern. So in passive what will become? Our subject will become object, object will become subject. So here what we have to do, we have to use SVO pattern. That means, so OVS, from OVS we have to frame this SVO. So whatever changes we have did earlier, we have to do just vice versa. And remove by along with the subject. This is what our last remove by, we have to remove by. Okay, that is what our 4 rules, most important. Okay, let's see. The thieves have been arrested by the police. The thieves have been arrested by the police. Now look at this sentence. Okay, which is our to be form here? Been is here, right? So we have to cut been, but we have to put verb according to the to be form. Now been is there, that means it is the perfect tense, right? So verb in perfect tense, main verb will come into V3 form only. So it is V3 only. So let's see. Now what is our subject? The police. Will have to cut by. So our subject, that is the police. Is there any? Okay, yes, we have the model auxiliary, that is have. But here the police is there. So the police has. Will cut this to be form. In place of it will put our verb form, that is arrested. The police has arrested the thieves. Let's see the answer reveal time. Yeah, the police has arrested the thieves. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Okay, next. He has been invited to that party. Again, we'll have to cut to be form. Been is there, that means it is the perfect tense. V3 form we will use, the same is there, so we don't have to look for it. He has been invited to that party. Now the subject is not there, so of course he has been invited to their party. So who would be the subject? They only. There is that. So we'll put they. Have or has? Have. They have invited him to their party. They have invited him to their party. Let's see the answer. Yes, they have invited him to their party. Okay, next. The car has been fixed by the mechanic. We'll cut this by, we'll cut this been. Okay, tense, we have to put verb according to the to be form. Been is there, so that means V3 perfect tense, same thing is there, so we don't need to get scared. Okay, the mechanic, our subject. The mechanic has or have? Has. Yes, the mechanic has fixed the car. The mechanic has fixed the car. Right, next. Their invitation was accepted by her with pleasure. Now what is our subject? Her, she. Will cut this by. Okay, to be form is here, was is there. It is a simple past tense, so instead of was we will put V2 form. V2 is accepted is V3 and V2 same thing is there, so we don't have to worry. Okay, let's start with this SVO pattern. So she accepted the invitation with pleasure. Now she accepted the invitation with the with pleasure, right? Yes, it is. Next. The walls are being painted by them. The walls are being painted by them. We'll cut this by. Second thing, we'll have first thing, that is we have to find to be form. What is here? Yes, being is there, right? To be form. So that means it is the continuous tense. Are is there, that means it is present continuous. So in present continuous, which verb form is there? Is MR plus ing. So being, we will cut this being in place of it. And what is that? We have to put the verb form according to the to be. So ing is there, so painted will become painting, right? V4 form, right? We have to put being is the V4 form, so we'll have to put V4 form. Okay, let's start it with the subject SVO pattern. So them will become they. So they, what goes with they is MR are. They are V4, that is painting. They are painting. What they are painting? The walls they are painting. So they are painting the walls. Let's see. Yes, they are painting the walls. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys understood what I have taught here, and that is the thing. Only this kind of questions would be there. If you practice much with more example, you will get the clear-cut idea. I have tried my level best here. Thank you very much.